Hi everyone, this video is for me to share my thoughts on one thing I learned this week and one thing I was reminded of this week after returning back to LA and back to work after 6 weeks of medical leave and technically 4 weeks since my last procedure. One thing I learned this week is that sharing can ease the knots in your stomach. And what I mean by that is sometimes if you're like me, you may go through things in your own life and you are intent on just pushing through whatever it is and you don't want to sound like you're whining and you don't want a whole lot of people in your business and you don't want, especially for me, I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me, and so you deal with what you deal with in your little head and your silo and you talk to God about it, um, and that's pretty much it. And then sometimes when people say things to you, it's like these knots come in your stomach because you know that in the inside you're really dealing with a lot. On the outside, you just get people to say no answer. They ask you how you're doing, and you say, I'm doing great, I'm doing well, I'm good, and really you're not. And for me, that always, especially lately, has started to create a lot of knots in our stomach because I know that I'm dealing with things, and I know other people are too, and I just started recently to be discontent with carrying on a facade of things being okay, especially when, in my case, not certain aspects of my disorder. Unfortunately, the easiest aspects to identify are the way that I look. But there are lots of aspects of dealing with my disorder that you can't see without just looking at me. And those are some of the hardest things that I'm actually dealing with. So this week, when people were asking me how everything went and how was your break or how was medical leave, I was tempted to just be like, oh, everything went great. And I had to just have a moment of realness and really stop and say, I would love to say that it was just quick and easy, but it was a lot for me. And just saying it out loud was a big step because I usually don't say stuff like that. Like, oh, it was these last 2 surgeries were a real challenge. Like, I don't say stuff like that because everybody has their own challenges, and because I've been through so much that it's just like, why even go into it? But I did listen into my coworkers of all people. These are my family or friends. That I have to be honest because like I said, otherwise I would just have this knot in my stomach about sort of hiding behind a facade, and that's not really true. And I know I'm not the only one that's dealing with that. I know we all sort of deal with that in one way or another. So I just want to encourage people to be okay with being honest when people ask you how you're doing. And again, everybody listened. And the funny thing was, I just said a little bit. I would say like, oh, it was a challenge, or it was a lot for me. And people would ask questions. Like my boss's boss even stopped me to ask further questions because he hadn't heard about what I've been dealing with in depth. And that was really comforting and encouraging that he wasn't turned off by me saying that. He was actually interested to know more. And you never know who would be interested to know more about what you're going through if you would just be honest instead of trying to be some sort of English that you're not. The second thing that I learned this week, or one thing I was reminded of this week, is that one of the quotes I love from one of the inspirational speakers I love, the speaker's name is Susan Taylor. She used to edit a magazine called Essence, and I heard her speak one time, and it just hit me so hard when she said this. She said she had been dealing with a lot of people having this and that to say about her, and she said she had to realize that what you think about me is none of my business. And I just really had to let that soak in because I had never heard anyone say that before. What you think about me is none of my business. And it's something that I've said to myself often since then whenever I felt like I knew somebody, or sometimes it's just in our head we think people are talking about us, but sometimes we know other people are having negative things to say about us. And I have to remind myself, another person's opinion of me, what I look like, or judging me, or coming to certain conclusions about me based on what I look like, that doesn't have anything to do with me. That's their own person's problem, and that's their own person's thoughts, and they're going to have to deal with those thoughts. And as long as I continue to do myself, eventually, one way or another, they're going to have to get to know me. They're going to have to look beyond what I look like, and they're going to have to reconcile all those thoughts they had with who I really am. So throughout the week, there were times when I had to interact with people who I hadn't seen before, um, new people that had just started and that sort of thing. And it was sort of difficult because I thought, what do they think when they look at me? And are they thinking like, I walk into a meeting and it's like, who is this girl that looks, however they think I look? And, is she something wrong with her? And at the end of the day, I know that I'm in the position that I'm in my life, not just work, but in my life for a reason. And I know that I'm not responsible for carrying the burden of what other people's thoughts are. And you have to make sure you remember that as well. Your only responsibility is to be who God called you to be. And what people think about that, whether they're judging you about what you look like or external factors outside of your control or what you've been through in your past or whatever, all those things are not your concern. That is the person who's thinking those things, that's their problem. That's something that they have to deal with. And having that sort of disconnect from other people's thoughts, when you have to deal enough with your own thoughts, it is making a tremendous difference in our life. And just remembering that is making a really big impact in how I'm able to sort of get through this next part of my journey of healing. All right. Thanks for listening.